Hello, Astrid.
Hello.
How are you?
Fine, thanks.
Very well. Okay. Let me know if you remember one of these things, okay? And you have to tell me your answers. Doesn't matter if you read about them or not, okay? Try to use logic, only logic, okay? What is more possible? As he traveled, the writer regretted his choice of A, seat, B, clothes, career, B, D, means of transportation.
Sit.
Okay, you say, Pancho, letter A.
I think it's letter B.
You say Chinese, it's letter B. Tiro, Pancho versus Chinese. Let's see who wins.
Cámara, Pancho.
Now, any of you guys, any of you think it's letter C or letter D?
No.
Okay, okay. Astrid and Chiquita, you say no. So by process of elimination, two possible answers, okay? And that's good. That's what I want you to do, to try to eliminate the unlikely answers. That's gonna be easier for you. Number two, what had surprised the writer about the job? Letter A, there had no advertisement. Letter B, he had been contacted by letter. Letter C, there was an invitation to tea. Or letter D, he had been selected for the interview. Try to use logic.
¿Y?
¿B de burro?
No, sí.
C de
House.
vaca.
The house in Spanish.
C de house in Spanish. Good. I like it.
Con C de vaca.
Yes, sí.
C de vaca?
C de cow.
Ah, C de cow. Okay, good. There was an invitation to tea, okay? Good. Anybody else? Another option? You agree? Okay, good. So we have letter C. The writer uses the phrase, I had grabbed the lifeline. Okay, it says line 15. This is often used for you to go directly to the line and try to understand. Okay, it's going to be marked in the text. What is line 15? To show that he felt, what is the meaning? I grabbed the lifeline. He was confident of his ability. He was ready to consider any offer. He was cautious about accepting the invitation, or he was forced to make a decision unwillingly.
¿Y?
Ready to consider any offer?
Okay, Chinese says dividido, Chiquito, di burro. The others, what do you vote? Pancho, Astrid? Veloz?
It's B.
B? Okay, two for B's. Veloz? Did you disappear, Veloz? Okay, good.
Yeah, it's asking for re-entry.
Ah, yeah, Ishe?
Yeah, it's outside the so asking for
Ah, yeah.
a new chance to get in the year.
Yeah, good. It didn't show. Okay, number 4. What impression had the writer previously had of Yorkshire? A beautiful place, a boring place, a charming place, or an unhappy place?
A.
Okay, here I want to show you something. You have 2 options for positive and 2 options for negative. First, make your mind. What do you think he thought? He had negative thoughts or positive thoughts?
Positive thoughts.
Okay, positive or negative. If you decide positive, the possibilities are A and C. If you decide negative, the possibilities are B and D. Okay, who says positive? Chinese
Yo,
Me.
says positive, and
I,
says positive. Okay, so 3 say it's either A or C, no? One of those two. And Veloz, are you there already?
Yep, I just arrived again. Sorry.
Okay, okay. What did the writer find unusual about Darrowby? The location of the bus stop, the small numbers of shops, the design of the square, or the lack of activity?
the lack of activity.
Okay, Pancho? A very good decision, Pancho. You didn't know, so you guessed. Okay, so it's a very wise decision. Okay, don't lose a lot of time in this part. Just try to do it as quickly as possible. We are talking about an exam here. Okay, so try to do it as quickly as possible. What did the writer feel about the guidebooks had missed about Darrowby? The beauty of the houses, importance of the bridges, the lovely views from the town, or the impressive public spaces?
Impressive.
Importance, I think the B.
Pancho thinks letter B. And Chiquita, no, Chinese, you were saying something?
Letter D.
Dido, the impressive public spaces. Okay,
Mm.
maybe. Nobody else
It
has
was a
another
five.
possibility?
Yeah, I agree with Chinese. Letter D.
Okay, good. Very important. He mentions both aspects. He mentions seating and clothes.
Mhm.
He contemplates clothes, but he only regrets about the seating because the sun was hitting on his freaking face. So imagine you arrive to your interview all red, like I don't know where you came from. So as I told you before, these freaking British are going to try to trick you, okay? Because they are going to mention one or two aspects of the answers, okay? But you have to pay close attention to that. This is what we call scanning. Now you have the questions and you are scanning for it, for specific information, okay? Chinese, how did the writer's attitude change during the passage? You said letter C. The majority of you said letter C.
I think it's letter D.
He started to look forward to having the interview. Okay, it's possible. Why do you conclude that?
Because at the end he said that I don't remember. Well, I don't remember the whole phrase, but he was so enthusiastic about his first job as a veterinary surgeon.
Okay.
So I think he was looking forward of having the interview.
Yeah. Let me show you something. You can see 4 options. 2 of them are negative and 2 of them are positive. The first thing you have to ask yourself is, how does he feel now? Positively or negatively?
Positively.
Positively. So you can eliminate B and C. It's
Yeah.
okay. What he didn't like at first about this opportunity?
Commuting to the
The
interview.
place.
The place. But as he comes closer, he starts talking positively about the place. Okay, there is air, there is freshness, there is no stress, there are lovely views. So his opinion changes mainly about
Yeah.
the place, because the job, he always wanted it. He didn't change. And the question is, how did the writer's attitude change?
Mm,
Okay,
okay.
he wanted the job in the beginning and he wanted the job in the end.
Okay. Yeah.
He didn't like the place in the beginning, but he liked the place in the end. That's
Yeah. Mhm.
I know it's difficult. I wanted to show you this because, well, I also talked to Veloz once, and she said, I expected your prose lesson to be more emphasized to certification exercises and stuff like that. And yeah, they should be, and it's important that you get familiar with this kind of exercises. But I wanted you to deliver on my promise of giving you real contexts. Now, this is a controlled context, which is reading for an exam, but I wanted to show you what I wanted to show you today was more about the technique, the best technique I have ever found for me. Okay, because normally what we do when they give us these kind of exams is we start reading completely the text. Then we go to the questions and try to answer. And then you have to return. So you waste double the time because you need to read again completely. That's why in the first step is only a glimpse, 1 minute. Read the story and get the main idea. Then go to the questions and try to target your reading. Try to focus on something, on the information you really have to read. And only then answer your questions. Okay? I know maybe this was a bit difficult.
I have a question.
Yeah?
Because what works for me when I did the exam is like doing it the other way around. So instead of like reading the text, I read the questions first to know what they were going to ask me, and then read the text, only looking for the information that they are asking. I don't know if that's okay or not. I mean, it worked at that time, but like it is good or not.
It's valid. I think it's valid, and we all have different techniques to approaching exams, okay? We have different styles, we have different ways, okay? But when you do it like that, it might be easier for them to trick you because you don't have a previous context.
Context?
It's going to be about. So you are just like doing an exam for a normal school, looking for the questions and then going to get the answers. But you will become very narrowed on your understanding of the questions, and maybe, and especially question number 8, you're going to get it wrong because you're not going to get the whole idea by reading it only once and trying to get your answers. Okay, you will undoubtedly have to reread some of the parts to answer question number 8. That's why I want to eliminate this extra step when you are in the rush of finishing, because as I told you, you have 1 hour for the reading for sections part 1, 2. This one is lovely because all of these focus fit in all of these places, okay? They are very tricky and they can fix everywhere. And part 3, okay? So if you don't manage your time correctly, you will end up just in the nick of time. But to answer the question, Veloz, yeah, it's valid to have different techniques. And it's even also valid to read the whole thing and answer the questions. When I had my first certification, I had no training of any of these things. Okay, I just did the certification because I had to in order to teach, and I had no training on this. So it took a long time for me, and I had to read it like that. I started reading like part by part and then go to the question and then go back like I was in any other exam from my Spanish school at that time. So if I can tell you, yeah, there are many other approaches in which you can be, But honestly, if you train yourselves in this approach, it's very effective, okay? And we will do it a lot, okay? I hope you have liked the lesson. If you didn't, I don't care. I just hope you did. But anyway, thank you very much.